Hey everyone, today I'm going to talk about a method to get effigies. It's always been around, but they recently made it better with the update this past week. For some reason they altered the levels of certain monsters, and since effigy drops are dependent on the monster's combat level, it makes it a lot better. So anyway, the monster is Mummies in the pyramid where you can switch to ancient magics. I'm just showing a way to get there at the moment. The two best ways to get there are either this way, which is using the Camulet, or using a god or pharaoh scepter to teleport directly to the pyramid. And to do that, it's the third option, the bottom one here, Rouch. I don't know how to say it, but that'll teleport you right there. I'm just showing this method because it takes more explaining, and I've got a bit to talk about as well. So pretty much what you want is a lot of prayer bonus and a bit of magic bonus. I think about 40 to 50 magic bonus is sufficient. I've put a list of different types of gear and what types are better than others. Pretty much the very best you can do is accuracy, but I didn't feel like dealing with it at great cost, so I just used monk robes. With this set I've got 53 mage bonus and 51 prayer bonus, which is pretty good. I mean, I'm not going to run out of prayer anytime soon. I've got a yak full of prayer renewals, and I'm pretty sure I could do like a 10-hour trip if I wanted to, which I definitely don't, because that would be incredibly boring. You can also just use normal prayer pots. There's not really much incentive to use prayer renewals, unless you just don't really want to pay much attention. You can also bring an anti-poison plus, but if you've got high health, then it's not really necessary. So you just go in here. Oh, there's someone already there. I'm going to turn off chat so they don't talk. Just go into one of the alcoves here, and as you can see, the thing said roar and the mummy popped out. There are two types of mummies here. The ones that are here normally are they have a lot of health, and they also hurt a lot more, so yeah, you want to kill those, but after a little while they'll stop attacking. You also want to make sure you've got Auto Retaliate on. Let's see. Okay, so he's dying. As you can see, I brought Chaos Runes as well as Deaths and Bloods. I use Fire Surge to kill the high level ones because it's a lot faster, and then I just use Firebolt to kill the low level ones. Or, I mean, it's the same level, but low health. So just make sure you stand right next to the alcoves, and they'll just keep popping out as you get them. It'll take a little while for the higher level ones to become unaggressive, but once they do, then it'll just be pretty much completely AFK. You also want to make sure to bring nature runes in your inventory so you can alch the drops that they have. Besides dropping effigies, they drop rune items. They drop the square shields as well as scimitars, and then they also drop ancient staves. All of those alch for pretty much their GE price, so you might as well alch them. I brought yak scrolls so that I can bank the effigies, and I could also bank the scepter and Camulet if I teleported. I also forgot to mention, but you have to use fire spells. I also didn't bring a teleport out because they drop Rings of Dueling with one charge, so you can pick those up and use those to teleport. No reason to waste a spot. When you're killing them, you don't want to move from next to the sarcophagus, otherwise they might not spawn. So let's see. I'll wait till they get unaggressive and then check back. Okay, so the mummies are now not aggressive to me, so it's just the ones in the sarcophagus that are attacking me rather than the ones that have full health. I also did a little bit of testing between the different spots, and they're all pretty much the same, but the northern spots are slightly better because when the one spawns right here on the spot where I'm standing, it has to walk one south of me, and south is evidently the default. If you're in the southern spots, it'll try walking south, but it can't, so it pauses and then it'll walk north eventually, but it's just a little bit faster if you're in this northern spot or the other northern spot. There also may be other locations in the pyramid here because it's a pretty big pyramid. I just haven't looked. So if this place gets a bit crowded, you can run through there and see if there's anything. So Pretty much, yeah, it's just AFK, you just stay here. You can also speed up your kills pretty significantly, actually, if you don't wait for it to auto-retaliate and you just click on them. Normally it's about 600 kills per hour, slightly more, but if you click on them, you can get up to, from what I've heard anyway, up to 1k kills per hour. It would need some testing, but if so, it's amazing for effigies. And the effigy drop rate is the same as at cave crawlers. It's 1 out of 751. So even if you're just AFKing completely, the drop rate is 1 every 75 minutes, which is an hour and 15 minutes. That effigy drop rate is based on not banking a lot, so if you don't have a familiar or you're low prayer, you're not going to get as many effigies per hour on average. But yeah, if you're maxed out and you're using prayer renewals, it's quite good for effigies per hour. Although you don't get all the extra combat experience that you get at ganodermics or at cave crawlers, the mage experience here is pretty terrible. There are some little tricks that are helpful for making sure the mummies always keep coming. You need to make sure that you always stand next to the sarcophagi and that you kill all of the mummies that are low health, even if they've wandered away. Because sometimes multiple mummies will spawn and you'll have to kill them both. Because if one runs away, then they might stop spawning. If the mummies do stop spawning, you can sometimes make them respawn by either searching the sarcophagi or by killing other mummies while standing next to the sarcophagi. You can also just try going to another spot, although you might reactivate the mummy aggressiveness, which is very annoying. Try logging out in, and I'm not sure if that works, but it's worth a try. What I'm doing here is keeping my prayer off because they don't really hurt that much, so if you let your health get down a bit, you just let them kick you, it saves a bit of prayer. It's not really a big deal because as long as you've got decent prayer gear, you really don't run out, but it does save a little bit of prayer. And that's everything. I hope you guys have some good luck with your effigy hunting. Also, if you are going for champion scrolls, this is a great way to do it, to get the mummy one. And if anyone tests out and has numbers for the method where you click on them instead of letting auto-retaliate work, please post in the comments and tell me how many kills you're getting per hour. And also, just read through the description if you have any more questions, and if it's not answered there, feel free to ask it, and I'll try and respond as best I can. Good luck.